Alright guys. I'll show you with the drawing in a minute. It's almost finished. There we go. Yeah, so we got this. Oh, you're right, Classified. What do you reckon? I've just finished the new illustration for my book. It's Bubbles the monkey abusing a sloth behind a locked door. Might make that arm there a bit thicker. There we go. Bit better. There you go. Nice one. Leave it there to dry. To dry. Oh, we got a little outline of him there as well. Next one. Oh, what's this message? A message. So, oh, you can see Baz. Hello. They want to see you, boss. The 3 people will probably like to see your red. There he is. He's not very happy. He's normally asleep at this time. You're in whinging. But yeah, drawing time. You can buy, if you click on this little button here at the bottom as well, guys, now. I've added some stuff. I'm now allowed to have a little shop on here. Now, I can't sell my stuff on here because they've got rules. But I can sell other weird stuff. So I'm selling other weird stuff on here. But obviously all of my stuff's on my website still, and the other bits are on there. But I've not put much new stuff on in the last couple of weeks. You can get a headless duckling though if you go to my website, worldaroundyou.com. They're called a free meal, obviously because somebody else has gotten the bill because they're headless. But you can get a free meal on my website. I've still got a couple of those left. There'll be more taxidermy stuff though in a week or two when I've got this book finished. This is it's not as good as it could be. It needs to be rounder. So if anyone wants to buy a fabric toilet seat or some crystals, I've got certain crystals on here that I don't have on my website, and carvings, crystal carvings as well. They're in the little shop there. Probably that one. I'll go with that one. So a couple of these. So for anyone wondering, the book is 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth. Like that. Like that. And they're going to get coloured in. We'll do that in a minute. The book, Bonesby Jones, is 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth. Things like this. Lock it in a room with Bubbles the chimp. Take it to a backstreet surgeon and get it a boob job. Teach it how it can OD with painkillers, and then swap all of the painkillers in the bathroom for off-brand sweets, and beat him up within an inch of his life. And then the tablets are actually just N and N's, because obviously they're off-brand, so I don't get sued. So he can't do himself in. Plug his little urethra. This guy here is wearing a thong and a bikini. Rub loads of gravel on his knees, and then tell everyone he knows that he fell over. And then when he says he hasn't, call him a liar. This one. Play games and Twister with all the other sloths, but then ignore that sloth. So there's going to be 50 ways. I've done quite a few, as you can see by the thickness of this Polly Pocket here. And I've got quite a few left to go. So we're getting there. Oh, thank you for the follow there. So we're getting there. It's going to take a while, but you're right, the spam. I've got 3 other books, Bonesby Jones. If you tried my other books. How to Date an Antique Table, A Lover's Guide. Everything you need to know if you want to shag an antique table. With dating advice, like, you could take it dogging, you could take it to the cinema. All of them are illustrated as well. Uneducated Guesses, which is, I found loads of big words I didn't know the meaning to, and guessed what they mean and drew an illustration to help it make sense. And then The More You Know, which is just a book of fake facts, or as others have called it, just a book of lies, But that's okay, the book of lies, people have enjoyed that. But How to Date an Antique Table, people have quite liked that. They haven't, the spam. Thank you, Reptile Junkie Exotics. Cheers, man. I'm glad you like it, mate. That's my main thing, my taxidermy. But I'll be dead honest, guys. January is a shit time to be doing taxidermy, especially in the studio I use, because it's cold. So defrosting a bag of rats can take a couple days, which isn't necessarily good for the skin. Not as in my skin, like the rat skin, can you make it unusable. I can't really do resin because it's too cold, so I work on books and podcasts and stuff in January, and put in place things for the business that'll have an effect later in the year, if that makes sense. Like the book will hopefully sell a couple copies a month through forever now, once it comes out, I'd hope. That's the hope anyway. So then that's a little bit of something coming in for me for the rest of the year, from a month's work in January. Well, for the rest of my life, potentially. Not exactly older spam. I've got me girlfriend. I work with my girlfriend on some bits, coming up with ideas and ideation, and sometimes she'll help me do things. Like she'll come and pluck some mouse testicles out of me. But I don't think she'd want to go on 4 in a bed with me, if that's what you're asking. Because she doesn't want to be on telly, she doesn't want to be seen, she doesn't want to be... Like, I don't consider myself a public figure, but she doesn't want to be even close to what I am. Which is fine, we don't... It's not something we both have to do. I work with Jimmy on Truth Seeking, though. Jimmy might be up for doing 4 in a bed with me. Doing fucking going round B&Bs. I haven't actually... You do realise I haven't emailed these people. If you've emailed these people, then okay. It's fucking... Yeah, it was a letter. I don't use emails. It's too outdated. The emails. What people like is a letter. They like a handwritten letter that looks like it was written by a child. Dear Sir, Madam. Dear Sir and or Madam. Keeping it politically correct in that of the time, you know. Right, there's one coloured in. I don't know. Reptile Junkies Exotics, whereabouts are you located? And what type of reptiles are they? Because I have a guy that I can get them off. Not regularly, like, it just depends what's died in his shop. God, it smells strong, this. Probably used up all the Sharpie as well. I'm too far from Liverpool, man. I'm down in the southwest. I know I don't sound it, but I live down in the southwest now. But thank you, though. Ominous. Meerkats. No meerkats. Wow, that smells very strong. Proper fucking fuming. Yeah, Munch. They might not like to see you, Munch. They might want to... Here she is. No, you're not in the mood, Munch. Just showing me your arsehole. Eh? Hello. Oh. Hey. There you are. Meglar. Munch. You watching? You wanna watch? No. Right, there we go. This one. No, I'm not going to do the cat. It'd upset my girlfriend if I did that. She don't want that. There, this one is make a device that has illuminated mirrors inside of it and place them over the sloth's eyes so it has to stare at the inside of its own skull. I need to go and get more paper. It won't be a minute. Entertainment, boss. Sing me a song. Oh, take it away. I'm back. And for those of you that are wondering, there's this little symbol that's now down here, I think, for use, with the little, it looks like a robot's head. It's actually a shopping basket. You can order some stuff from there. It's not going to come direct from me, it's like a drop shipping thing. But you can get crystals and fabric toilet seat covers. I get to hand pick the products that go in there. So I'm going to try and have some decent stuff that I would put on my website if I could get my hands on it. But also weird stuff. Just stuff that nobody would want. And then I'm going to try and market that on here as this little separate video series just to break up the taxidermy bits, really. And I'll be back making more taxidermy bits probably next week or so. Right, we've got that one done. Is there not another list somewhere? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So these are, them are the fucking fresh paper. These are for doing the other like experimental shapes on. I've got another list somewhere of fucking Baz, leave her alone. Another list of torture methods for a sloth. So I've got to try and get my hands on. I just don't know where that is. Is that it? There we go. Right, buzzing. We're going to have to redo these ones as well. So we've got how many's on there? 36. 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 49 methods I'm going to need at 50th. That's annoying. It could be 49 ways to torture a sloth. Seems lazy, but I'll double count them anyway when it comes to it. Hello, Sabina. Hey, no. Right, this list. Look, these are all my lists. Methods of how to torture a sloth. I got 49, maybe 50. I'll count them again. No, I'll do that off camera. That's a boring thing for you to watch anyway. Watching me struggle to count to 50 because I can't remember where I started in the circle. There could be 49, there could be 50, there could be 51. The book's going to have 50 though. And then I might even take some of these drawings, these hand drawings, right? And I might do them as NFTs as well. Bit more fucking money in my pocket, mate. Right, one of the torture methods. Well, I can show you them. This one, Sabino, you're right, Wayne is. This one is rub gravel on its knees and then tell everyone it knows that it fell over. And then when it tells other people that it didn't fall over, call it a liar. We've got lock one in a room with Bubbles the chimp. I'll pull a couple out of the done pile as well. Or I'll get these ones here and I'll show you these. I'm trying not to crease them. Calling the RSPCA, it's fine. It's not a real sloth. They won't care. Let's chuck them in there. Oh, there's plug its urethra. Well, I know a lot of people have suggested that I should make NFTs, so I might do them out of these and see what they go for. I'd be happy if I got fucking £1 for them, like that as NFTs. Oh, thanks, Chaos Theory. I've got. If you like that, mate, you might like my books in it. I've got other books. This is my 4th book, but I've got 3 books out already, which you can order through my website as digital downloads. No, I don't really understand NFTs either, mate. Not a clue. I've read about them a few times. I've signed up to try and make some, but I don't really understand them, innit? So I'm gonna try and make a couple quid out of it. Really, I'd be happy if people might like to own a picture of, the torture method, the old tried and tested. Give a sloth a pet squirrel, and then take the squirrel away from it to torture it. See there, you can see the picture of the sloth actually happy with his pet squirrel, but the picture frame's been smashed to make way for the cage with his squirrel inside. And there's the sad sloth. You've got force one to grate cheese down to its wrists. So this is quite a good one. I quite like this one because we've got humorously hefty instead of seriously strong. We've got Philadelphias instead of Philadelphias. Divorced double slices instead of single slices. Churchtown instead of Cathedral City. And sea weight instead of anchor. So there's, you got bits like that in there. There is on one of the list we've got. It's not a race, but drop them onto really fast treadmills. This one is force it to keep stubbing its toe on a brick. Tar and feather one. That's what these are going to be, jam. There's going to be a picture book. That's what this is. this one is going to be just a picture book. My other books are mainly picture books. I don't have one to hand right now. You can see them on my website. There's words in them, but the illustrations seem to be the main things. I wouldn't really say I was Sabina. No, I'm very much of a I don't know what you would call it really. Just fucking. Oh, thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Could we do that again? You know, I'm not really. Yeah, imagine your sex life is crisps, right? Now, some people, right, or biscuits is a better shout. Biscuits is a much better shout, right, to explain this away, my views on this, and what I think about it and what I would want. So, imagine sex life is biscuits, right? I'm not going to colour them in, they're going to be black and white, jam, 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 right? But imagine biscuits is your sex lives, your various sex lives. Now, some people like a custard cream, that's their favourite biscuit. Some people like a ginger nut. Some people like a bourbon. Some people like a rich tea. Some people might like, triple chocolate chip cookies. Other people might like double chocolate chip cookies. Some people might just like chocolate chip cookies, without the extra chocolate in there. Now, personally, I don't have a preference. I just like biscuits. I mean, I like half the biscuits, let's say. That half the biscuits is good with me. I don't mind if we face north, east, south, west. Who's facing north, east, south, west? I don't really care for any of the other rigmarole around how the biscuit is dunked. Biscuit doesn't even have to be dunked, I guess. Just how as long as the cookie crumbles, I'm happy. Really. Now that's not to say that I would like. I don't think. I'm relatively sure I wouldn't want a male biscuit involved, because I've never once looked at a bloke and thought, fucking hell, he's alright, isn't he? It's just never happened. Maybe it will. Fuck knows. I don't think it will. It doesn't seem. It's not happened now, so why would it happen another time? But I'm not fussed, is what I'm saying. I don't understand the people that are like, sex is great, but it's I don't like it this way. I like it just this way. Like it's a cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got to have, it's got to have 1.5 sugars, and I can tell if it's not. And it's got to stew for 4 minutes. No. Done. Sorted. Is that a good enough answer for your question? Did that work, Sabina? Oh, Sabina left and then came back after asking that. So she's missed the whole metaphor there. But maybe it was too wordy of an answer. I don't know. But still, that's my answer for do you like S&M. I think that's a valid answer. Not to detract from the people that are into anything else. I just fucking couldn't care less. Just as long as they're nice to me, Oh, okay, you left and came back straight away. So you heard the answer then, Sabina. My old biscuit metaphor, and because it's going to be hard to repeat because that was just off the top of my head. Someone could summarise in the comments, I would have thought. Summarise for Sabina, just in case. Work amongst yourselves. Imagine though if do you like S&M? And I'm like, nah, I only like fucking sheep. Now what would your answer have been? Nah, it's not that I like everything. I just don't. It's not that I wouldn't want a particular type. I don't understand the mentality of people that are like, oh, I'm into this, I'm into that. I don't understand the idea of the concept of a kink. Do you know what I mean? I don't get that. I don't know if that's because I've got something wrong with my brain. I don't know. I obviously everybody has a type. I have a particular type, but I don't have a particular type of shagging that I enjoy. Let's say I wouldn't say anyway. I'm aware of. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't want like when you're doing DIY, innit? Like when you do, not in like a metaphorical sense, literally when you're doing DIY, you're happy doing flat pack furniture because all you need is an Allen key. That's fine. I don't like the idea of you doing. Imagine if you were doing flat pack furniture and it's like provide your own screwdriver and 4 types of Allen keys and a wrench and a spirit level. You don't need it, innit? You're just being irritated by it all. There's too much going on. So I don't know what I'm doing with this. Why would I want all this? It's just let me pop my Allen key in the hole that's allotted, really. And I would imagine most blokes would give you the same answer. I would have thought the blokes that say, yeah, dead into that. They're probably just saying it because they think you are me, and it means they're going to be able to get their end away with you. I think it's more of a female's prerogative as well to enjoy various types of sex, really, because it's somewhat more readily available, really. In the same way, I suppose you could look at it and say that, it's blokes can go shopping later in the evening, because it's dark and a lot of women are scared to go outside at night because they believe everything on social media and because some people are bastards. So that's an advantage of being a man, whereas an advantage of being a woman is it's much easier to get your end away. So you can have more options, whereas we'll just have what we're given. And like it, either way. I'd be like, like I said, well, thank you very much. It's... But that's enough about that. That's more than enough about that. Click on the little shopping basket down here and order yourself a plush toilet seat cover. That could be used in your S&M games, Sabina. You go and use this toilet seat cover on loads of different toilets in train stations and bus depots and stuff, and the toilets in B&Q and that. And then you bring it home to a fella or a lady. No one's here to judge. Not going to cast any dispersions. I don't care who or what goes in where. But your partner, the M of the S&M, I think, and then you make them chew on the toilet seat because it's fabric. You like chomp on this, and they're like, oh yeah, all right. But little do they know that it's been on loads of public toilet seats, and you're like, yeah, you dirty little bastard. You like that, don't you? Yeah, oh, like that to them, and they're just there like that, like. I think you give them more than COVID, Sabina. I think you give them much more than COVID. Probably nicer to do it to rich men, really, because they'll be able to afford the therapy and the private healthcare that's going to be necessary afterwards. But still, less than £1, free shipping, and I get 10p for every one sold. So everyone's a winner. Plus, you get to take yourself a little toilet seat cover around with you. Yeah, I'm alright, JP. I'm not too bad, mate. Jam. If you find me funny, mate, this is all just off the top of my head. So fucking try the podcast, innit? You might enjoy them. I write half of them. The bigger, longer ones. And the Here's How's are written. Truth Seeking isn't written. But if you find me funny, mate, fucking try them, mate, where I'm actually trying to be funny. I'm just talking here. Anyway, where was I up to? Remove a toe from each hand. won't colour them in yet, just in case. Russell Brand. Buzzing. I think it might be the long hair. That might be that in the beard. I'm not nearly as well versed in the English language as he is. He knows a lot of words. Him. Like he knows an awful lot of words. I don't. I'll openly admit, guys, I'm an idiot. Like I might seem clever, but I don't think I actually am. I'm just good at making stuff up. Yeah, the toilet seat should definitely have a wipeable fabric on it. That's why I'm trying to sell them. I want to see if I can sell them. But there's also other stuff on there. If you tap the little shopping basket button, that's somewhere around where I'm rubbing here with my finger on your screen. And obviously as well, what would help if there's all 10 people watching here, just keep hammering your screen as well with your finger. Obviously not when you've got the shopping basket thing up, you'll end up buying shitloads of stuff you don't want. But if you just keep tapping the screen and get the likes up, that might help us reach more people as well, guys. Which would be nice, they might mean that they'll actually come and buy a little crystal skull off the little shop icon here, or they might go to my website and order my books, or go to my website and order themselves a headless duckling, something like that, or a t-shirt. Colour it in now. When I say colour it in, it's just black and white. Plus, it being black and white apparently makes printing cheaper as well. So, I might be able to sell this at less than what I sell the others at. It's too slow in the game. What game? It's weird to be in a clean environment, Jacko. It's nice though, it's nice to be in the warmth as well. I mean, I know I'm wearing this. I'm pretty much in my pyjamas, but well, I am in my pyjamas plus this. I don't sleep in this. I'd lose a lot of weight. I would have thought, go back to being extremely skinny again if I did sleep in this. But I have been here for a bit at home. It's warmer, mate. There's heating. It's nice. It's not cold. There's no wind blowing through near the window. So I don't really do much taxidermy stuff in the winter in January, because I do a lot over December, and then it's just too cold till sort of March to do it properly and well, if you know what I mean, like at a good pace. So I work on other bits. Nah, nothing would get done, jam. I agree. But I just thought it would be, it's a good animal to torture, innit, a sloth. It's because when we had, those of you that listen to Truth Seeking will be aware that I think in the episode you're at now, these were recorded probably around July-ish, I think, originally. And it's around the time when my head went a little bit wobbly and I was a little bit poorly. Not as in like throwing up, but my head weren't right. I wasn't very well. And in another one of those times, I actually wrote a manifesto for why we should kill all the animals of the world and how we should do it and things like that. And then after a bit, I sort of came around and I was like, this is weird. And so I'd looked up stuff about sloths and really got it in my head that I should draw a load of things. That's where this list came from, of how to torture sloths. And because I'm still gonna do that manifesto. I'll finish that, but I don't know if I can do that with my head being normal. To be honest, when you go back and read it, it's just very manic looking thing. It's just weird. But if my head goes again, I'll work on that a bit more, and then I can link this book in there. What was wrong with my head? I don't know how to explain it. Innit? It just went. Don't know if it was a mixture of lockdown and not being able to work, the stress of being self-employed but not being able to work or go to work, and being locked in the house for a long time and things like that. Doesn't do me well. I need to, and my head's busy. It needs stuff to do all the time. It's not really interesting, to be honest, Sabine. It's not something I talk about. I'm just trying to explain where this idea came from for the sloths and why it's sloths. Maybe one day I'll tell people, but it's not really necessary. So it's unnecessary. I don't like it when people are like, "Oh, I've got this wrong with me," and then everyone's like, I'll support you and I'll buy you stuff." I don't want that. I'd rather people just buy me gear because they like it. Yeah. What am I drawing? Jacko, I'm drawing sloths being tortured, mate. So this one's having its fingers cut off on each hand. One finger off each hand. Here we go. Oh, that needs to be fucking a little bit neater. Like that. There we go. Right, there you go. There's cut off a finger on each hand. Bleach would be a good way to torture a sloth, especially the live action series. Fucking awful. Well, the film was it? Was it the film? I think it was the film. The cartoon version was good for the bit. And I'm fully aware you mean the toilet cleaning stuff. Well, that's another reason why it's sloths. Sloths seem to be the animal that's in, and it's the animal that's been in for quite a while now. Every few years it changes what the big animal is. Like for a while it was French bulldogs. Everything was French bulldogs. But sloths always stick around, innit? Because they're not going anywhere. But they're in like the zeitgeist of people, innit? You know, just out and about. They're people like them. So I thought, well, that's a good way. People might be searching for sloth stuff, and then they'll come across my book. Oh, I hope so, Jimmy. A sloth in a wheelchair. We could do. I mean, having the sloth just in a wheelchair isn't torture, though, is it? Just means the sloth's in a wheelchair. Very unlikely as a sloth. There'd have to be a reason to put it in the wheelchair. Be a bit difficult to draw, though. I've got someone in a wheelchair in one of my books, in How to Date an Antique Table, A Lover's Guide. This little fella in a wheelchair takes his antique table to the museum to look at the dinosaur fossils. Tried to make that book as inclusive as possible. There's ginger people, there's a guy in a wheelchair, there's short people, tall people, you know, everything really. Then it'd get about too fast, Jimmy. That'd be the torture for it, I already thought. It's moving too quickly. This isn't your kind of entertainment as an animal lover. Sabina, have you seen the things I make? This is gonna blow your mind, mate, if this is the case. Have you watched my videos, Sabina? I make stuff out of animals, man. I'm a taxidermist. That's what a taxidermist does. I sell mouse hearts, mouse testicles, rat's hearts, things out of rat skin. Lots of things out of rat skin. Ducklings' heads on springs. Yeah, and these animals are fictitious. These sloths don't exist. So, yeah, innit? Imagine the money you would need to be able to torture sloths. They'll be well expensive, mate, a sloth. Plus, once you've done it in one zoo, all the other zoos are going to be aware of what you're up to. Especially when you're walking in. I mean, you could put a high-vis jacket on and a helmet and walk in anywhere with a ladder, but when they keep catching you coming in with a ladder to these zoos, they're going to know, you know. You don't have to watch Sabina, that's fine, man, I don't mind. Go and have a listen to my podcasts, mate. Things like, here's how to trick your dad into leaving your mum. You might like that. Here's how to be happy. Here's how to make money. There's a nearly a 2-hour rant on the hidden messages and predictive programming within the remake of the first Pokemon film, if that interests you at all. These hours and hours of me talking about how the moon isn't real and how it's probably just a genetic splicing facility. Mothman, covered Mothman, a frog with a rat's ball. Yeah, we were discussing this jam yesterday, weren't we? The idea of making a frog with rat's testicles attached to it. A genetic splicing facility is what the government are doing inside of the moon, potentially, allegedly. Where the moon isn't actually the moon at all. Inside it is a laboratory where they can use the DNA of various animals and humans to create animal-human hybrids. And that's why the Lion King has that scene in it where Simba walks across in front of the moon with Timon and Pumbaa, because it's showing that inside of the moon all these animals are being combined together. And then if you watch a lot of kids' films, there's a lot of the moons in the mall, like it's trying to convince you that the moon's real. And that the moon's, what they say, is just a ball of floating rock, instead of actually being some form of scientist laboratory. Yeah, How to Torture Pokemon would also bother Game Freak and Nintendo amazingly. Like they would sue me for a lot. The biggest taxidermy I'd do is probably a fox, innit? That's the biggest I've done, and I couldn't really go much bigger. Like, I'd like to do bigger, but I couldn't really, because my studio's in an upstairs space. Sabina, if you believe that, then you're going to enjoy my podcasts, mate. Go and give them a go. Rather than watching me drawing sloths being cut up and tortured, which is obviously going to cause you some mivo. Go and have a listen to them, mate. And then come back and let me know what you think, man. I might still be on the live. I might go off live soon, but I'll be on live tomorrow, so you can have a listen and let me know what you think of it tomorrow. Also, who's going to be the first person to buy a plush toilet seat cover as well? Or just generally something from my shop? I did it initially to show my girlfriend that I could do it, because I used to be a butcher. Alright, Sabina, I'll see you in a bit. I used to be a butcher, so I would show my girlfriend I could do it. I've discussed it on various podcasts, which you can find links to on my Instagram, highlighted stories, if that helps. But and then I got into it proper as a business because I massively misunderstood a university project, and it got me in the local news and then the national and international news. If you Google rat pencil case, you'll see a picture of my face when I had shorter hair next to a rat's arse with a pencil sharpener in it. And because of that, it made it very difficult to get a job. If you Google my username, you should find all of the news articles and that have been out about my work. I've been doing it for about 5 years and had quite a lot of media coverage. So they'll make you laugh. I always try and get jokes into them as well, like crack jokes in the interviews and stuff, to see what I can slip past them, which is fun. For the Pokemon lover, one of you said you're a Pokemon lover. What do you think of this that I've just pinned on the screen? Little obsidian carvings of Dratini. The uni project. It was called a feasibility project, and the teacher asked us to do show a transferable skill, like a skill that we could show off from our past. Now, I misinterpreted that and thought they meant from our past, because that's what I took it as, but she meant, apparently, I think she meant something we'd previously done on the course in the previous years. So I tried to show that I used to be a butcher, so that I could skin animals, and that's a transferable skill for taxidermy. So I made a rat into a pencil case with a zipper down its spine and a pencil sharpener rammed up its jacksie. It went viral overnight after sharing it to Imgur, and then I had orders for them and a business. So in my eyes it was feasible, but the uni didn't like it because I was giving the university sort of a bad name in the press, because when you would Google the name of my university for nearly 2 weeks, about 10 to 11 days, you'd Google the university. Oi, stop sucking your toes. Stop it, it's rank. It's annoying. When you'd Google the university, a picture of my face next to a rat's arsehole had come up, and they didn't like it, so then I wasn't allowed to do taxidermy anymore, even though it was the first and only time I did it for the course. I could probably make a badger fox chimera. I'm not allowed, though. You're not really allowed to do stuff with badgers and sell it. It's not allowed, supposedly. Even though you do see people doing it, but I'd rather not break the rules, really, with it. Because it's my business, you know. What's the next one? Feed one its own claws. Oh. No, I couldn't. I couldn't recreate the Shrek scene, man. If that's what you're going for. A frog coat would be a lot of frogs. The cost of the rats depends on how many I buy. Oh, that shit tape. You fucking... I don't know what to suggest, man. I fucking... Maybe if more people go and listen to Tape's music, man. It's pretty good. If you like hip-hop, you probably like his beats. And he's put a song out with Afro and all, if you know Afro, the rapper. But he's good. I don't know what I can do for you, Tape. I'll try. I can't give you inspiration for it, innit, but I can try and send people your way more. There's the podcast episode where I mentioned your song. Won't be out for another few weeks yet. A good few weeks. It went out on the radio, but it won't be out as a podcast for a little while. I can't remember which one it was in either now. But it's out there somewhere. But it will be properly soon. Well, again in a few weeks, but... What is he doing for work anyway, Rowan? I may have to go soon anyway, because my missus will be home and she doesn't want to be on live. Yeah, it's annoying chaos, but that's just how it was. Apparently the high up people actually liked it, and they found it funny and enjoyed it and thought it was good like publicity for the uni, but the proper high up people didn't like it at all, and they had to be seen to be going against it. I didn't get a first. I don't think I got a first the whole time I was at uni. Oh, fair. You need to go and do something a bit different, Tape. Do a completely different music genre, just as a beat for that. Or use a different thing, try that, mess about with that, and then come back to it. And then you probably find that you'll enjoy it again and be like, yeah, this is what I know, this is the stuff I know. Oh, buzzing. Oh, see, I'm not a big fan of Pizza Hut. I prefer Domino's myself. I find Pizza Hut, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but Pizza Hut sauce is way too tomatoey for me. And it's like more like a fucking pasta sauce. This is fucked. This one's fucked. Not as in it's right, I've fucked it up, but it's a weird one. What I like about doing stuff like this is I like adding all the weird extra little details. Like, it is unnecessary. That's exactly what I do, Pope. Pope, you should know exactly who I am. Like, we've spoken loads, mate. That little voice that you hear in your head when, you know, after you're told about all the other priests and your bishops and stuff that work for you, all of your little skivvies, after you've been told they've been touching the kids again. I'm the voice that you hear in your head telling you, just move them to Bristol. It'll be fine. Don't worry. You know, that's me, mate. That's me. There you go. So, this one is cut off his toes, cut all of his nails off, and feed him his own claws. What do we think? Well, I'm going to have to go, guys, because my missus is home, so she won't want to be seen on camera. Fucking go and buy some bits off the new shop, like the plush toilet seats. 90 odd p, I get 10p. I'll fucking see you in a bit, guys.